What's going on YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. It's Ricky Unboxed here, and today we're diving into the Magic Keyboard from Apple. Now this Magic Keyboard is the 13-inch model for the new iPad M4, and it is only compatible with that iPad. Now going around the box, very typical packaging from Apple, and it also shows you how you can orient the iPad and how it looks when it's closed. It's very simplistic and nicely laid out, nothing crazy, but we're gonna go ahead and slide the tabs off as usual. We're gonna go ahead and slide the first one, and then we're gonna slide the second one, guys. Now just going our way, and first things first, you're met with that little tab there on the top that you can use to lift out the iPad, and then you can kind of, you know, get a first feel for it. Nothing else in the packaging, nothing else in the box, very simplistic. Now we're just going to go ahead and tear off the packaging off the actual iPad here, and then we can finally just dive into a little bit more on the iPad. So it is the space gray model, and one of the reasons why I decided to go with the space gray model is because of the simple fact that the iPad that I went with is the space gray model. Now just opening up this keyboard, it is a 14 key fully functioning row for like quick access to like your screen brightness, your volume controls, and other quick things like that. It also has a scissor mechanism with 1mm travel for quiet and responsive typing, at least Apple is claiming, but we're gonna dive more into that in a second. As you can see, just some quick brief manuals here hidden away inside of this cardboard protector between the top and bottom of the keyboard. But first things first, when you open it up, you can see those prongs there on the side. This is what you're going to use to connect the keyboard to the iPad, essentially giving the keyboard all its power. This is what's going to be used to power the lighting on the keyboard and just all the functions. But I'm just going ahead playing around with just the closure mechanism. It's very sturdy. It feels very durable. I really like how the top part can fold back and then it stops halfway. It's like a cool little design, very unique, and I like that. So we're just going to go ahead and put the iPad on, and as soon as you put the iPad on, the keyboard light turns on automatically, and now you have a trackpad and basically a fully functioning laptop iPad. I don't know, but it comes in at 662 grams, just the keyboard. With the iPad, we're coming in at 1.2 kg, and then just to compare it to an MacBook Pro 14-inch, that is going to be 1.59 kg, so very close in weight when you add the two. So just keep that in mind if you're going ahead to pick up one of these iPads with the keyboard. But honestly, it is still really nice and it's very compact. I can see this being great for somebody who's always on the go but still needs some sort of a computer with them. This can be great for them, especially the way it can close up and get very compact. You can always slide this inside of a bag, and it's very protected with the cover. And then you can see just that Apple logo there on the top. Now I just wanted to see if the opening mechanism works as it does a MacBook, because when you open your MacBook, it just easily opens without lifting the keyboard. But as you've seen there in the demonstration, it does lift a little bit, but it still works decently fine. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of play around with this now, see how the multitasking works. And sadly, I couldn't get the entire shot of the keyboard, as the camera setup would just kind of look funny. But I'm just swiping on the mouse trackpad. It's nothing special. I did switch it to Stage Manager so we can kind of see exactly how the multitasking will work, and honestly it works very smoothly. I kind of like it. It's just, I don't know, I'm sure you guys have heard this a lot, but it's towing very close to just being just change it into like a Mac OS, you know, instead of the iPad OS, just use the Mac OS, but then it would kill the MacBook. But I mean, it's just, I don't know, it's in a very weird space. Like it's not a computer, but it wants to be. I don't know if that makes sense. It's still really nice though. I like the multitasking. Here my Wi-Fi for some reason was just acting up and I couldn't get videos to load. It's not like the iPad is slow or anything like that. It's definitely my connection. But like you can see here, you can still interact with the touch interface on the iPad. I'm using the pencil, as I'm going to demonstrate here in a second, but you can still use the keyboard as well. You can use all of the functions to, you know, heighten the lighting, change the lighting on the keyboard, and you can still use the pencil to write whatever you want to write or draw whatever you want to draw. So it's still very interactive, and I kind of like that sense and that feature. But again, like I said before, it's just going right along those lines of, am I an iPad, am I a tablet, or am I a laptop? What am I, you know? So it's very interesting to see what Apple is going to do with this product in the future. It gives me a lot of Surface Pro vibes as well. But yes, it is still an iPad, very powerful system, as you've seen there on the Geekbench. But I am just going to be using this as a dual monitor, and see how it works when you extend the monitor. So some interesting things here to note as I go ahead and set this up. And it automatically prompts me Stage Manager with the external display. So we're going to go ahead and hit continue. I'm going to quickly go into my display options and just change the arrangement of where my iPad is to my external display. So easily you can just change it there in the settings, and now when I hit set, the trackpad and the cursor will now follow properly. So you can see there, as I move it onto the left, it goes on to the other screen, which is exactly what I want to happen here. So if you guys want to go ahead and change that in your settings, if you are going to use an external display, that is how you do that. But so far works pretty decent. Now there's a little bit of a quirk here that I did not like. I'm going to show you guys here in a second. So if I want to have two Safaris running at the same time, unfortunately I can't do that on the screen. At least I don't know how to do it. If it is possible, someone go ahead and hit that in the comments down below if it is. But I've tried pretty much everything. I've dragged it over, I've tried opening new windows, but it doesn't seem like I can run two different web browsers at the same time. So it's very app specific. I guess you can only run one app at a time on a certain display. I don't know how I feel about that. I think that's something that Apple should, you know, change within their iPad OS system. If it's in Stage Manager, allow you to run the same app, at least for Safari, on two different monitors, because now it's kind of limited. If I want to have, you know, say two things going at the same time. But yeah, it still runs very smoothly. Again, my Wi-Fi, I don't know, it just wanted to act up today. I have no clue why, but it is acting very slow. But you can still run it kind of like a laptop in a sense, where you can use a display cable to USB-C and have it run on an external display. And then if you hit command, it kind of just gives you like a brief overlay of all of the shortcuts within the system, which is nice. You also have apps like iMovie that you can run. It's probably a lot easier to use these applications with a keyboard, so you can always do things like that. And there's some very cool things that are going to be coming out, like live multicam for the new Final Cut Pro app, which is supposed to have some new key features that is going to be really nice that we can take advantage of. I'm going to just go ahead and try to use my display cable for USB-C and see if I can use that port to create an external monitor. Now it says that it's rated for just charging, but I am playing devil's advocate here and just trying it out, and it seems like it does not actually work, which is fine. It's just a charger, and that is totally fine, but I would like to see in a future model that port could be used for maybe data transfer, not just charging, especially since this is a premium product from Apple and the price point is pretty steep. I would like to see that addition in the near future. All things considered, I do think that this is a great product, especially for somebody who's always on the go and needs a compact computer that they can just slide in their bag. This is definitely something that you can consider. But again, I just want to reiterate on the fact that it is very clear that Apple does not want to turn this exactly into a Mac OS system. So it's in a weird state where it's kind of a computer, but it's not. I'll leave it with you guys. That's everything I have on the new Apple keyboard. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But as always, peace out, take care, and I love you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.